magic.
And it's complete for the touchdown. Corbett, the rookie from Boomer. He grew up in Garfield, New Jersey, 10 minutes from Giant Stadium.
But short of a first down, Corbett was able to work free. What a move by Wayne Corbett.
Absolutely unbelievable. You're talking about a kid who is just all heart.
Welcome to the Underdog Jets podcast with Wayne Corbett and Robbie Sabo. Welcome back, New York Jets fans, to the Underdog Jets podcast with Wayne Corbett. And we are here on Tuesday, June 21st, the beginning of the week after mandatory minicamp, and there's a lot to discuss. We're heading into the dead period here, but there is a lot to discuss with number 80. Here he is, Wayne, fresh off a trip. He's been a busy man the last week, I'll tell you that. Wayne, how you doing?
Good. Yeah, I headed to Lake George with the family. Like I said, we did fishing, mini golf, arcade, horseback riding, white river rafting. We did the whole gamut. So it's good to be back and talk some Jets.
You actually hopped on a horse yourself too, right?
Yes, I was on a horse.
Okay.
Just a trail horse, but it was weird because one of my stirrups was higher than the other, so the whole time I was kind of riding like that. My kids and my wife thought I was falling off the whole time, but it's nice to get away for a little bit before the summer comes.
Yeah, my heart is in Lake George. We used to go there for family vacations every summer growing up, camping on an island. So great place, love it.
Yeah.
And you were also at the One Jets Drive, the documentary or flight. What is it called? Flight 2022 this year.
It was Flight 2022. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a big night. Was that Wednesday night or Thursday night? I believe a lot of Jets fans came out. Yeah.
Wednesday night. There was some of the, Gotham City crew and some season ticket holder. It wasn't a massive event, but me, Tony Richardson and Jericho Cotchery did a Q&A. Jericho I haven't seen in 20 years since he left. So it was nice to see him and catch up. But, they're Emmy Award winning, crew that puts these things together, One Jets Drive. But Flight 2022, the original episode is all about leading up to the draft and the first round of the draft and what went on behind the scenes. And, Sal, and Joe Douglas, Woody talked to the picks that they had in the first round. And then what he went through trying to get on the clock, back on the clock to, trade up and get Jermaine Johnson. So it's awesome. I think it's a 6-part series, but you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, I have not seen it myself, but I did see that clip where they elaborated and went deep into that process. Douglas trying, seeing each pick, Jermaine Johnson sliding. And that trailer itself was tremendous. So I'm going to check it out. The Jets, they deserve a lot of applause for the documentary stuff that they put together. No question about it.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just, and this, the intense music, the dramatic music they put to it. And you just see Joe on the phone, calling. And then all of a sudden he puts down the phone and he says, "We're on the clock." And they went nuts. So,
we're on the effing clock. We'll keep it family friendly, folks. We're on the effing clock.
So, it's just a nice take for, I have my parents with me to see what goes on behind closed doors, everything that goes into how many, seconds, you know what I mean? I think they had 600 hours of film that they put into 6 episodes. So they do a great job.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, Jets fans are always wondering, are they ever going to get back on Hard Knocks? But hey, do they even need to? The organization does one hell of a job as it is.
Yeah, there's no need for that. They put it out the way they want to put it out. And, it looked like another award-winning show.
Absolutely. So mandatory minicamp last week, Tuesday and Wednesday were a week later. And I'm glad we're talking about it a week later because, we had a chance to digest it a little bit, step back, let everyone else put out the news. And I kind of like that. The initial quick, rapid reaction is sometimes misguided and you're not even trying to be misguided. So what I saw, I was there for both practices, Tuesday and Wednesday, where the media was available. And what I saw was Zach Wilson looking confident. I mean, everyone knows I'm a fan of Zach Wilson. I'm a fan of the move, trading Darnold, drafting this kid. Was he the perfect prospect? No, but nobody is. And he's, I think the biggest takeaway with him coming out of the draft was his talents, his abilities, his arm fits this NFL better than any quarterback because of that quick release. And you're going to see a lot of stats. You know, Wilson went 11-13 in the first team session in minicamp. He hit this guy, he hit that guy, picked off by Sauce Gardner. Me, I don't care about the stats in these practices. What I want to look for is if he is making the correct reads against the right defenses. You know, as we talked about in the last podcast, we don't know what they're talking about going into these practices, what they're working on, what they're trying to establish. So, you know, not having that benchmark, that info is a major thing. And what I saw Tuesday and Wednesday was really good things. He was making the right reads against cover 2, hitting the soft spots in the middle, placing it low, inside, away from a safety, hitting the soft spots against cover 3, down the seam. Again, good placement. And he's reading the defensive back's leverage. That's the most important thing. You know, for example, I think one of his best throws was an incompletion. He had a weapon on a 5 to 10 yard out and got rid of it in the face of pressure. It wasn't complete, but if he had been on target, it would have been a pick 6 by Michael Carter II because he was on the weapon's inside hip. And Wilson saw that and led him enough where it was safe and out of danger, out of harm's way. So that's just one example of many where he's making the right reads. And I think Jets fans should be excited about that.
Yeah, I think you gave a breakdown of 3 days of minicamp. I'd like to talk.
My monologue is done.
You know, your knowledge of the system and defense is astonishing to me. No, I wish I would have seen some of it. I was there for a meeting. I didn't get a chance to go on the field, but you know, sometimes statistics are misleading when it comes to mini camps and OTAs. It's based on the pressure and was it a sack or this, that. But yeah, from what I saw, he's making all the right throws and the connections he already has with the 2 tight ends and Wilson has been great. But every day I've been seeing great photos and highlights of Denzel Mims making catches. Man, how did he look in person?
Denzel looked okay. I mean, he looks a lot better than last year, obviously. Yeah. But I think the good thing is they don't have to rely on him to be a top 4 guy. Right. They really love Jeff Smith. They really love Jeff Smith. And DJ Montgomery is a guy to keep an eye on. So Mims is clearly, they do a lot of rotation. And Mims is not rotating with the first team. You know, Smith and Montgomery and, you know, maybe 1 or 2 other guys are. Mims might see a couple reps, but he's clearly on the second tier, but he looks good. I do think he looks good.
Now, are the ones going versus the ones or the ones going versus the scout team?
I'd say about 50 to 65% of the time it's 1 versus 1s, but the rotation is so major that it's scattered all over the place between teams and 7-on-7s. So you could have
not necessarily
1 versus
Mims,
2.
Yeah. Mims isn't going against Sauce and Reed and those guys. He's not
very rarely, but there are times where he does.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the rotation is just off the wall. So you could have 1s versus 2s, 1s versus 3s. You know, the better percentage is 1s versus 1s, but between the 3 teams, there's a rotation in there. Right. And I really like that at running back, at receiver, at tight end. Yeboah, keep an eye on Yeboah. I don't know, Wayne, who are they going to keep at tight end? They went from having no tight ends to 5 or 6. It's going to be a major question this summer.
It depends who could. I mean, Azuma and Conklin don't play special teams.
Right.
I mean, I don't see any place where they can go on special teams. You don't put a guy you give that much money to in the wedge or anything like that.
Right.
Yeboah, I think he plays special teams. He's on the lighter side. You know, he could probably, you know, be on the kickoff return and stuff like that, or, you know, but I guess the kid from Ohio State, he's going to have to play special teams. He's gonna, it's going to be tough,
Yeah.
To get the ball with all those guys there. You just talk about tight end room. Now you go to the receiver room. I mean, there's be scrapping. I would not take a Jets receiver or tight end in fantasy because it's going to be spread around. And you could have a couple guys with, 700-800 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns, across the board. A half dozen of these guys can put those statistics up.
How about running back too? I mean, the floor comes from the Shanahan scheme, and down in San Francisco, they never have a stud back.
No, I mean, Brees, he's a 3-down back. Carter's a 3-down back. And then you got Tevin Coleman still, who played out there with Flores. So, yeah, I mean, stuff happens, injuries happen, stuff like that. But, I mean, they're deep. They're as deep as you can be as far as pass catchers in that offense.
And any other guy at tight end to keep an eye on? Lawrence Cager, the youngster who Minnesota, I think it was waivers. Minnesota claimed him off waivers late last year.
Yeah.
So he wasn't with the Jets. Then he returned to the Jets, and he's a tight end now. He
was a receiver, right?
Yeah. He was a receiver, and he made, he was making some splash plays as a undrafted rookie 2 summers ago, the COVID summer, with Mike White at quarterback. Him and White were really connecting. A lot of fades in the red zone. So he's another guy, he's more of a, pass only type tight end who presents a lot of matchup problems for the defenses, but he's another guy. Like it's real tough.
Yeah. But he's got a receiver build. So certainly he can run down on punts and
he could be special teams.
Yeah. But I don't know. What do? You gave those 2 guys all that money. You spent a high pick on the kid from Ohio State, and I don't know.
It's tough, man. You got Yeboah, you got Cager, then you got Wesco at fullback and Bowden too, who they like at fullback.
You got 2-3 tight end sets, 4 wide. I mean, and these run backs could spread out to Brees Hall could play in the slot or outside. So they just have to create mismatches and with all the personnel, and it's going to be exciting to watch.
Absolutely. Really quick, for example, specifics with Wilson, the first play of teams, I think it was Tuesday, the first day, not Wednesday. I can't get into the specific routes, but he found Elijah Moore down the right sideline on a vertical play, on a vertical route. And it was against a zone where he saw, it was against Sauce, and he saw Sauce's leverage, his hips turned inside, and he used that against him and completed one deep to the sideline. So that was the first play, huge play. Second play was kind of more of a broken coverage. Jeff Smith was wide open down the left sideline, touchdown, got off to a bang out start. And then the very same day, Sauce got him back with a pick in the red zone. Some would say he returned it, 90 yards for the touchdown. Right. I don't know if he would have got tackled or not. So they went back and forth on Tuesday.
Yeah, they're going to be going at that for a long time. All the young guys going against each other. I mean, the young guys they got last year against the young guys they got this year. I mean, it's makes for a healthy competition. Like I said this before, the games are easy. It's the practices, that are difficult and hard going against the same guys every day, twice a day, who know your techniques, know your releases, know everything about you, know your splits. So, they're going to get better. And like I said, it's going to carry over to the game.
Absolutely. And this is, like I said, this is the dead period, kind of strange. You ramp up for minicamp, get a month off, come back for training camp strong late July. Another big storyline, Mekhi Becton returned to the field. He did not practice. He stayed in the rehab area with Carl Lawson and others, but he did return to the field, watched on in positionals or individuals, as they call it, but did return to the field, talked to the press afterwards, wore a Big Bus t-shirt. So he's trying to use all the criticism, all the negative talk to his advantage. And asking you, Wayne, as a former player, what do you think? Do you think that's the right move for Mekhi going forward?
Yeah. We don't want to ignore it. You know what I mean? It's not going to go away. So you might as well embrace it and use it as motivation to prove people wrong, to prove the media wrong, the fans who are in that way of thinking, and your teammates think you're not working hard or putting in the effort. So, I mean, they don't need him till training camp. So I don't know what his weight looks like or what they're trying to do with him. But the biggest thing is get him to training camp healthy. And from looking at the sideline tape there, you could see he's moving around, but he's coming off some bad injuries.
Yeah, here he is. If you're watching on YouTube, here's the big man right here walking. We should put this to Terminator music or something as he's coming out of the building.
Yes, so he'll be fine. I mean, like you said, embrace it, what they're calling it, this and that, and just use that fuel to prove people wrong.
Yeah, there was even a video I snagged of him trying to make a one-handed grab, and he swears he caught one before that. But I didn't see it. I got to I got to say I didn't see it. Here we go. Not the greatest throw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not the greatest. I don't know who threw that, but Mekhi's laughing. Hey, you could play tight end too. That goes to the tight end problem they have.
I don't know. He just keep the pass blocking and run blocking. So overall, it seemed like the atmosphere was competitive. The guys were, loose. And coaches were loose, and this looks like they set the tempo for what it's going to be like. Set the tone what it's going to be like in minicamp. And I think they're just going to pick up where they left off leaving this past week.
Yeah, absolutely. The atmosphere, like you said, is right on point. They're right where they want to be. Wilson was, he other than, as we discussed last week, those few and far between moments where he gets struck by some thunderbolt, where he just overthinks it and his mechanics get screwed up, where it's the casual layup, he looked sharp. He looked really good.
Yeah. And the biggest thing now, some guys go home and chill, and some guys go home and work.
Right.
And that's what they say. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. If they just stay ready and maintain what they did in their keep their wind and running routes and throwing the ball, makes training camp a lot easier when you are not the morning after the first practice, limping and sore. You have all that soreness out of the way when training camp actually starts.
Yeah, and the fans were there too. I mean, not an open practice, but a select few with invitations. And I apologize, she's going to kill me that I forgot her name, but the Jets fan of the year who was on our live chat that you met.
Liz?
Yes, Liz. She was there Wednesday, wondering if you were going to show up. She was crossing her fingers.
I only know that because she comes to all my appearances.
Yeah.
Every appearance I do, she comes and she waits, and I always tell her to come to the front of the line and give her a hug.
Yep.
She's one of my biggest fans, and we've had some great conversations. So I always look forward to seeing her. Yeah,
great person, great Jets fan.
Yeah.
And Liz too. I wanted to see you Wednesday, but I had to bolt out of there. Prior commitment after practice. So my apologies. I'll get you next time.
Yeah, I will be there come training camp quite a few times. I'm always in there for meetings with the sponsorship team and stuff like that. But I have not really got a chance to ever really shake Coach Salah's hand or Joe Douglas and get a chance to really just talk to him. So I'm looking forward to, getting some time to talk to him, get to know him a little better. But everything they've done, I'm huge fans of that.
Yeah, I got to watch the documentary as soon as we hop off this podcast in about 3 minutes. We'll close on this. Jets Garrett Wilson, funny little story here. He had a priceless reaction after discovering the rookie dinner reality from the New York Post here. A lot of people covered it, but if you're watching it on screen from the New York Post, this was one of those situations where he went to dinner and he realized that everyone looks towards the rookie to pay for dinner. And it's not a small check by the end of the night.
Right. It's it can be costly, and there's no holding back. It's not like going out to steak dinner and they're drinking this and that. It's 10 guys leaving and hey, let me get 2 steak sandwiches to go. Let me get a bottle of this, bottle of that. They're it's not just you have a meal and you're done. I mean, these type draft picks, like you say, it could be $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, something insane. Fortunately, I didn't have to go through that because I had no money. And I remember it was like in the beginning, after the team was set, and can't remember his name. He was a vet, but he wasn't starting. And I came in. He's like, "Where's my sandwich?" And I was like, "What sandwich?" He's like, "You're supposed to get us sandwiches." I'm like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I'm a starter. I'm not getting you a sandwich. I don't understand. I could carry your pads and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. I have no money. We ain't got game checks, not like that. I got $1,500 to sign. That was all gone. So I didn't know the rules, but fortunately, I didn't have to go through what some of these guys are going to have to go through in camp.
Yeah, sandwich. I mean, of all the things, sandwich.
Yeah, man. I was like, wow. I don't know. I didn't have to stand on a chair and do the fight song like Kyle Brady that year.
Yeah, that was big. Back in your day too. These days, the hazing and stuff has gone away, but that was big back then.
Yeah. So it's great. It's part of what you have to go through. So, just got to get it over with. And then it's kind of just, you're part of the team and you just go with the flow.
Yeah, I guess Garrett Wilson was on maybe with ESPN. I'm not sure, but his quote was, "I've got to take all the receivers to a dinner." He said, "That's going to be cool. I'm excited for that." And Ryan Clark said, "It's not going to be cool."
Listen, it's the receivers, the linemen. That's the ones you don't want to take.
True. This is true.
For dinner. Receivers, svelte guys, they're not, going too crazy on everything, but those big guys can eat a lot. But listen, I'm jealous that he's just to do all that stuff. I mean, I wish I could do it all over again. And I would pay any amount in the world to take the whole offense out to eat, if I had a chance to play again.
Yep. One of the benefits of being a UDFA, no expectations for the big dinner.
None.
Jets fans, check us out on iTunes. Rate and review is the best thing you could do. 5 stars. Write a comment. Tell both of us how good looking we are, how great we are when we talk. YouTube, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Share it. Go to jetsxfactor.com. Visit the Underdog Jets podcast webpage in the menu and sign up using discount code 80. Get a free 8x10 signed autograph picture from Wayne Corbett. And Wayne, actually, you have to mail me some.
Yes.
I got to get on you this week about that because we need more, definitely need more. And all that good stuff. A lot of good content. We hired a new writer, Rivka Board. She's excellent. I think she just talked about Boomer, one of your old quarterbacks. I might have to read that tonight as well. So yeah, good things coming ahead. July right around the corner, and we're going to be in the swing of things for a long time.
Yeah. So obviously great to be talking to you and the fans, but we'll still do some content before training camp. We'll come up with some good ideas, maybe watch some game film, go back in the archives, but keep an eye out for that, and talk to you next week. Absolutely.
And the next live Q&A with Wayne Corbett will be on July 25th. So mark that down, July 25th, 7 p.m. It's a loose date right now. If it doesn't work, we'll find a date around there, but figure late July, early August when training camp begins.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Wayne. Until next time, Jets fans, we will catch you later.